Hi, this is Neil Walters with neilsvideos.com, and this is my rough practice for the fancy cake build. I honestly didn't spend a lot of time on it, and I've just been, well, that's why you haven't seen any videos from me lately. I've just been doing a lot of other things. And happy Purim, by the way. It's a Jewish holiday tonight. So we read the book of Esther, and a lot of people wear costumes. And anyway, so uh, this is what I did so far. Obviously, lots of windmills. I think I have 5 bakeries, several cakeries. Just remember to put when you actually make cakes, you might want to have them over here by your power plants. So I had room to put another cakery right here. This one I was getting a little bit of energy from my Tesla coil, and the guy only had to walk this far to deliver a battery to it, so it wasn't that bad. What I'd really like to talk to you about is the ratios, and I'll show you my, I call it the bill of materials structure. Let me just load that on the screen here. Okay, so here's what you need for a fancy cake, which is made in the chocolate shop. You need 2 strawberries, 3 chocolate bars, and 1 cakery. The chocolate bars are made in the chocolate shop. The cakery is made in the cake is made in the cakery. To make chocolate bars, you need 3 cocoa, which is a plant, 1 sugar, which you have to grind in the windmill, and 1 milk, which comes from your milk barns. To make a cake, you need 1 batter made in the bakery, 2 sugar from your windmills, and 3 energy, however you get those. Could be your power plant or could be your wind turbines, which make the batteries, or the energy units that can be moved around. Or try to go for passive energy where you place your cakery close to a power plant. Then to make batter, which is the bakery, you need 2 flour, which you have to grind in the windmill, 3 eggs from your chicken coops, and 1 butter, which is also made in the bakery. So you'll need more bakeries for that. And the butter requires 2 milk, 2 salt, and 1 sugar. So if you do not have an NFT that allows you to produce salt automatically from the haunted maze, I think, I forget, 2, 3, 4, whichever one it is, then you probably want to be by the ocean in order to make your salt faster. Otherwise, the salt is just tremendously slow. And then you need 1 sugar again. So over here on the left, I've compiled the total of all the resources needed to make 10 fancy cakes. So you need 90 cocoa, 60 sugar, 50 milk, 30 eggs, 30 chocolate bars, 30 energy, 20 flour, 20 salt, 20 strawberries, 10 batter, 10 butter, and 10 cakes. The green items on here are your higher level items that are made up of the other child items, basically. So if you make, for example, 90 cocoa and you do everything else, you will have 30 chocolate bars, right? So it doesn't matter how many NFTs you have or how fast your machine is or anything else, you're going to have this ratio. So when you go to the performance monitor inside of TownStar, you basically just want to check that all your ratios are in order. And if you add, for example, 10 more cocoa, that means you're going to have to add more, more chocolate shops or something like that, right? So, and then when you add another chocolate shop, for example, then your ratios go out of whack again, and then you have to increase other things. So again, no matter what level of play you're at, you pretty much have to have these ratios. So for example, for every flour, you need approximately 4.5 times as much cocoa. So you kind of have to do that math in your head or create your own spreadsheet. For every 3 eggs, you need 3 cocoa. For every 3 eggs, you need 6 sugar. Or think of it in tens or hundreds, however you want to do it. So I think that could be very helpful to you. So my town normally runs faster than this. Again, making the video on this particular computer and not using my remote desktop, it just runs really slow. Build your refineries first, like always. I've been doing a candy cane rush just because I have the NFTs for that. Some people pointed out that if you're lucky enough to have bought the cakery bakery NFTs, you could rush that from the start. That would be really nice. I'm going to do another video in the future. The reason I bought the strawberry thing here, I thought I had a wonderful idea, and it turned out to be basically didn't work. Instead of doing a rush on candy canes, I thought, oh, I could do a rush on chocolate covered strawberries. But the problem was it just basically didn't make as much money per hour. And I'll show you the stats on that in the future. I do have a spreadsheet for that, but that'll be a totally separate video. So let's just show you what NFTs I'm playing right now. This is my large wood storage. I don't have the large lumber yard, so this will hold up to 60 wood. And this thing I think is killing my game too. I get that searching for connection 20, 30, 40, or if not 50 times a day. And eventually, I'm going to wait till Godot comes out. And if it's still happening then, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to have a discussion, report it as a bug or something. Because I hear other people don't seem to get that near as much as I do. And I have good internet speed. Um, the other NFT I was using here, it's kind of hidden. Let me twirl my town around if it doesn't take forever. Behind this water tower, there's that sphere of hope, and that cancels the pollution from these guys right here. So that way the milk barn and these trees won't have pollution from that refinery right there. This is my NFT, again, maze, whatever number it is, that gives me the saltiness. So these two salt guys, salt needs water, by the way. So I put them over here by the river, and they probably could be one away from the river. And this guy gives them their saltiness. So if you don't have an ocean, you would probably need that. You would need that NFT. So, or otherwise, you might have to have 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10 salt fields or brine fields over here. See, there's that searching for connection again. It usually comes up too when I'm trying to place a building, and then I almost get ready to select it, and then it starts all over. So last few weeks, my games, to be honest, have been in the 600 to 700 range, and there's two reasons for that. I had a huge project at work that was taking all my time. So on Tuesdays, I can't always start the game at the time that the game starts, and basically, I think it's a big lot. You know, you're not going to be in the super top if you can't start at the right time. You can still place, but the other reason is things like that search thing that just keeps popping up. And anyway, so, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say it here. I've got another project. Go check my video channel. I think I call it something that only happens every 30 years. There's something pretty cool. It's a new device from like the Philippines, or at least let's just call it Asia. And it seems to have some miraculous abilities to help different pains and different problems with people's human bodies, or even animals for that matter. And I think it's going to take the world by storm here, like even this week, next week, because I'm working with a guy who's a really big player in this field. And once he releases it, you're going to start seeing this thing everywhere. Okay. So I think it's a good opportunity now if you want to jump in and be early and get this thing out to your friends and family and people who need it, especially older people that have, like I said, aches and pains, or if you're interested in longevity, I think that they're saying it has some interesting things with that. So please check out that video as well. So back over here, what else can I tell you? These are my chocolate fields over here. Should be able to tell by the icons. Eventually you learn what icons what. The milk barns are causing shade, which was not ideal. I needed a lot more milk barns than I thought I would at the beginning. It's mostly for the chocolate, I believe, and for the butter, I guess. So I did have one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 milk barns. Okay, and that's why they're in such a goofy place. This is my wheat stand, which provides wheat to my feed mills. A lot of you know about that. I'm just trying to explain some of the NFTs that you may or may not know about. These guys are the fast builders, and at this point, I can actually delete a lot of these builders. Again, I just was doing a lot of other things this weekend, and I didn't spend a lot of time on that. I still have room. I could build more cakeries and bakeries. The thing with the game this week is when you build, for example, a lumber um, logger house, I mean, or a farm tractor. Here's what's going to happen. You probably already know this. A lot of you do, but if you're a beginner, you might want to know about this. So up here, in the right-hand corner, you have your stars, and your stars are how you basically place in the top X number. Like if you want to be in the top 200 or top 600, top 1,000, that's what gives you your place in the competition. Over here on the left, you have your city cash. And so in the past, when you bought something, it was always with your city cash. And now there are a few items that require stars and city cash. So basically, you will lower your place in the game if you buy certain items. And I still haven't done a deep analysis on that. I actually started this town before they put in the current meta build, as they call it. So it already built part of my town. But I think it kind of represents probably what I will do in the real game. So there's an example where I was going to buy, or at least show you an item, and then that search thing pops up, and I have to go start all over. So I'm on this screen, and here, see your farm tractors. As an example, this is the city cash that it cost you, and then you'll lose 500,000 stars, which is quite a lot. So, you're not going to build probably as many farm tractors and or logger houses as you did in the normal games before. Or if you do, you got to make sure you build them, as soon as possible. And then toward the end of the game, you're probably not going to want to do them because you kind of need to earn your stars back, right? So by building your tractors, let me show you the logger house here. Close the screen. Your lumberjack, of course, is your lower level logger. Here's your logger house that's faster than the lumberjack. And you have 5, it takes that to build it. But anyway, it's going to cost you those stars. And there again is the searching for connection. So that is just kind of starting to infuriate me a little. The other thing, and I just been being a little bored, to be honest, with TownStar lately. Um, Even though they change the meta every couple of weeks, it's starting to be a little bit the same to me. So I need a little variety or something. Um, I'm just expressing that. But anyway, so that's why I have so many of these old style lumberjacks here, old style farmers. I do have I had 3 farm tractors, and it looks like 4 or 5 only 3 logger houses. And so if you do those again, do them as soon as you can. I do have room here to actually add a few more bakeries and cakeries. And I'll show you my current production. It is not that fantastic. So again, I'm not saying this is a model city by any means. So where is, and of course, I'll look at my frames per second. So again, since I'm making the video, there's the searching for connection again. You see why I'm getting kind of tired of that? I'm sorry. So here, come on, open. Okay, what am I looking for? Fancy cake. So there's your regular cake. These numbers aren't, I don't think you're even right, because I think I need to even reset my town to show you the accurate statistics, because these don't even seem right. Okay. Well, I checked all these the other day. Last time I was playing, they were all pretty good. But I think right now it's just because I'm making the video, everything's kind of slow. They're not, well, they may be correct, but I didn't refresh the town and see it's saying I'm only making this many per hour. But again, look at my frames per second. So again, it's for some reason it's hard for me to make the video and play the game at the same time. That's another issue I just need to solve if I'm going to continue making these videos. Okay. So let me just give you overall concepts on my town again. At first, I put my windmills very far apart, and of course, at some point, you can't do that anymore. So they'll all be on the red timers. If you have the gusty windmill or whatever it's called, NFT, you want to make sure that's applied so that your windmills will be a little bit faster. The reason I did put this strawberry thing here is it's next to the one chocolate factory right now that's making the fancy cakes. So it's providing the 2 strawberries I needed. So if you didn't have that, you'd need at least 1 strawberry field over on the left side. Sorry, even my video recording program just died. I think it's just killing my machine right now, I guess, with everything I've got running. Yeah, basically, so I just try to separate things. And I do these little sort of quadrants, little chunks of like 8 buildings in a row here. That road, may not be needed. If you wanted to squeeze another cakery, bakery in there, you could. Waiting. See, I'm pretty serious about that. That thing's killing me. And it happens on my other laptop too, not just when I'm making videos. Put your houses over far away from other things. What do you think? I'm just trying to think of other general advice I would give that I learned from this. Oh, here I have the Christmas sugar stand. So all these windmills around here are making sugar, of course, then. And you have to have one road, though. The wheat stand doesn't require a road, but the sugar stand does. So I could put, how many is that? Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 windmills, all getting automatically 2 sugar from that. So that helps the sugar production, I think, a lot. You might not need 3 silos. You might only need 2, but you can see I've got these 2 or 4 right now. So I think that's all I'm going to say about this today. I got to run for the party, Purim party tonight. And again, check the video about the device that can potentially help your health or your pains that you might have. Go to Neil Walters' channel and or neilsvideos.com. That'll take you there. And check out that video. It says something like the best thing in 30 years or something like that. Anyway, it's from a friend of mine or a mentor, Darren Little. He's actually over in the Philippines today talking to some people about this device, and it's already going great guns, and he's going to more automate it and stuff. So again, I think you're going to be seeing that everywhere. And if you like to make a little extra money, or if you have aches and pains, I would strongly encourage you to check out that video. So this is Neil with Neil's Videos. Sorry I was a little rushed today, and I'll see you in the next time.